Good evening to you. This is News 6 at 6:30, getting results for you tonight. Thank you for joining us here live on News 6 Plus. I am Matt Austin.
I'm Ginger Gadsden. We begin with some breaking news tonight, though, out of Cocoa. The search for suspects is on in Brevard County after a 2-year-old was shot. The Brevard County Sheriff's Office says the child is in stable condition tonight. Deputies say more than 50 bullets were fired in the area of South Burnett Road and Catalina Drive. Outside Cocoa Meat and Produce in a press conference just over 2 hours ago, Sheriff Wayne Ivey went step by step through the scary shootout and shared a disturbing detail.
3 shooters that were inside a black Mercedes. There was the male subject that was involved in the shooting. The female subject was pushing the baby stroller, actually left the baby there, ran away, and then after the shooting and stopped, came back. The baby, as I said, was shot one time. Does not appear to be life-threatening, so our thoughts and prayers are with the baby and the surgeons that are dealing with this incident at this time.
My goodness. Again, Sheriff Ivey says the 2-year-old had surgery and is in stable condition at the hospital right now. Deputies are still trying to track down that black Mercedes he talked about. Anyone with information can report it anonymously. Just contact Crime Line at 800-423-TIPS.
To Sumter County now, Homeland Security Tampa posted this video on social media of a raid at construction sites in Wildwood. We're told several workers were taken off the job in handcuffs by federal officials. Workers there describe it as a ghost town, according to the Post. Investigators arrested more than 24 people, some of whom had previously been deported from Mexico, Guatemala, and Honduras. This comes as we've learned FHP is having its own Immigration Enforcement Authority wing. Officials say more state law enforcement officers have been deputized in Florida than anywhere else in the country, and more than 100 troopers have been sworn in as special deputy U.S. Marshals, allowing them to execute federal warrants.
What we have now with FHP is that they are able to conduct immigration operations wholly independent of the federal government, and there's no one else in the country where they're doing that. Now, Tidal Wave was a task force model where they were working in conjunction. These guys now at FHP, they can do operations, they can get illegals, and they can do everything that an immigration officer would do up until the point where they get processed for removal.
Governor DeSantis says Florida has also submitted a plan to the federal government to contribute new detention facilities.
Well, anyone of any age can ride an e-bike in Florida, depending on what kind you get. They can go up to 28 miles an hour. They have become a popular way to get around, especially for kids in middle and high school.
But now, some feel like they pose a safety risk on sidewalks and walking trails. News 6's Emily McLeod joins us from Winter Garden, where one woman started a petition calling for a mandatory safety program in Orange County schools.
If there's an e-bike or a scooter right there on your left, it's just inevitable that something's going to happen.
I caught up with Linda Sibley on Tuesday. She started this petition calling for a mandatory safety course for e-bike and moped safety in Orange County schools.
If you're running and all of a sudden you step into the sidewalk in order to get away from something that's there, that's when I almost ran into somebody that was on an e-bike, and all I could think of was that could have been incredibly catastrophic.
Linda doesn't want to see these kids' e-bikes get taken away. She just wants everyone to be able to enjoy this trail safely. In fact, she says she would like to see a training course that involves the entire family.
Why not offer a training to educate the parents as well as the student, so the parents have an opportunity to share this education with their HOAs, with other family members, with their neighborhoods, so that over time everybody is actually just empowered with this education, and hopefully we'll have the safer sidewalks and the bike trails.
A new e-bike safety training pilot program is already underway in select Orange County schools. Bike Walk Central Florida tells us the curriculum covers general bike safety, helmet use, and guidance on riding scooters and e-bikes safely.
I think that's incredibly powerful for Orange County to be moving forward like this so proactively, because we find ourselves so reactive that, gosh, if only we'd had a traffic light at that intersection 6 months ago, though that person would still be with us. Well, it's like, okay, let's be more proactive now.
If you'd like to read more about the petition or what Bike Walk Central Florida has to say about this new curriculum, we put more details inside this article on clickorlando.com. For now, reporting in Winter Garden, Emily McLeod, News 6.
I get it. I see why they're, we've all been there. You scooch up a little bit and you cross the sidewalk plane.
Yeah.
And they're coming and it's too late to back up.
It's true. I like to scoot around on an electric bike in my neighborhood.
Oh, a bike.
A bike.
It's completely
but
different.
They're, I don't know, this still is dangerous because people don't expect them to be as quick as they actually are.
Yeah, that's true. I also find them dangerous when people just leave them anywhere they want.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that.
That is annoying. The rental ones. All right. Well, would you want the houses in your neighborhood to all be the same color, or would you rather be able to express yourself?
News 6's Laverne McGee is taking a look at the ongoing debate happening in Palm Coast.
The city of Palm Coast is having a meeting to consider allowing homes to be painted in shades of pinks, lavenders, peaches, and greens, but keeping a ban on brighter colors such as fuchsia, magenta, and oranges. They're also discussing the rules around people parking work vehicles in their driveway. I met a new friend in Palm Coast.
I'm Kathleen Donaghy, associate broker with Better Buy Realty in Palm Coast, and I've lived here for 25 years now.
And your vehicle is wrapped.
Yes.
And some people are saying that's not fair, that you can't park it in your driveway at certain times. What do you think about that issue?
Well, I understand it because if you had a vehicle that was ugly and unattractive, perhaps with ladders and pipes and a big face on it, you wouldn't like that next door to you all the time.
So you're okay with the regulations?
To a degree, yes.
What about the colors on the houses? You sell houses. Shouldn't somebody be allowed to paint their house fuchsia or magenta?
Well, typically speaking, yes, you would think that they should. It's their house. But if you're the neighbor to that house, imagine if you're trying to sell your house and then somebody sees the house next door and they don't want to buy your house because of that ugly color.
So your opinion is that the city of Palm Coast should stick with these regulations and rules they have?
To a degree, yes. I think there has to be some limit.
City Council is reviewing several presentations and will be discussing these issues. They said they will not move forward with any changes without getting sufficient community input. Laverne McGee, News 6.
You kind of know what you're getting when you move into a community with an HOA.
You have to read through those HOA rules.
And the fine print, very fine print.
I had that rule in my community as well. I had a neighbor who would stick a big magnet on their car to cover up the whole sticker there.
Well, up and coming downtown Claremont has gone through a renaissance of sorts over the past decade, attracting new bars and restaurants, as well as a lot of cars looking for parking.
We've received many emails about it. Eva writes, downtown Claremont is great, but the parking is a mess. Mark told us the downtown development is a good thing, but the traffic is becoming unbearable. News 6 anchor Lisa Bell is in downtown Claremont with how they are maybe a victim of their own success around there when it comes to parking.
20 years ago, it wasn't uncommon to come downtown and by 5 o'clock, pretty much everything was closed up. You could find ample parking because nobody was here. And now we have a bustling downtown.
Amanda Netherow owns New Heights Communication, a marketing and PR firm on Montrose Street in the heart of downtown. She's also on the board for Claremont Main Street.
It's not uncommon to see a ton of people downtown on Saturday night, whether they're parking their boat and coming up to the downtown area, or they went on a run in the morning and they're coming up to get some coffee and breakfast. You see people throughout the day, which is fantastic.
How did that happen? How did it go from kind of like a sleepy Main Street after 5 to what it is today?
Honestly, I give it to a lot of our downtown businesses.
They've invested in murals and hosting special events like wine walks, food truck Fridays, and weekly farmers markets. And their efforts seem to have paid off.
You can't buy better marketing than people taking a selfie in front of a gorgeous mural.
Over the past decade, Claremont's population has nearly doubled. The city is currently developing the so-called lumberyard district along Lake Minneola, bringing in even more shops, restaurants, and apartments.
As a business owner, we're thrilled, but we are busting at the seams.
The lack of parking is a concern News 6 has covered before. In February of 2024, News 6's Justin Warmoth spoke with Amanda Walsh, who owns the downtown fixture, Cheezer's Palace Cafe.
Here's the problem. We already have trouble with parking. That's the #1 negative issue with our historic downtown. We got to park somewhere. and we're running out of room.
If you're looking at potential parking spots.
So I took the concerns to interim city manager Rick Van Wagner.
We have about 1,000 plus parking spaces available in the downtown, but we did a parking study in 2024, and during regular hours, we have adequate parking, but when we do events or any big draws, it's just not enough for us right now.
The parking study he's referring to found that during non-event days, there is adequate parking. But whenever there is a big event, which is happening more and more frequently, more than 90% of spaces are filled up.
So what is the solution for that?
Well, the council is discussing off and on about a parking garage, so there is discussions that are ongoing, and I'm hopeful that we'll come to some conclusion and perhaps do that in the near future.
Parking garage seems like a big undertaking. If that were to happen, how long before we would actually see some infrastructure like that?
It's probably a couple years.
Hey, find me a downtown in Central Florida that's popular and that you can find easy parking spots at.
Yeah, great. Good
and
luck with that.
I'll give you $1.
You can go a little higher. You're not going to find it. Well, Central Florida's #1 news website, clickorlando.com. Let's check out what is trending right now. As if strip clubs don't stick out enough, one in Tampa has a UFO sitting on top of its roof. Oh, I know this one.
Oh, you know that one?
I mean, not personally, because I used to live in Tampa. It's
Okay.
one of two.
You didn't work there.
One of two future houses in the Sunshine State. This house of the future was designed by a Finnish architect in the 1960s, around when the Apollo 11 mission landed on the moon.
All right, I'm sorry.
That's Mons Venus is what it's called.
Clearly a joke. The idea was to create a small vacation home that could endure harsh weather. The houses feature a retractable door hatch that could be operated with the push of a button. Aside from the Tampa Bay Club, there exists only one other Futuro house in Florida. That one can be found at Pensacola Beach.
You're getting calls from my family today. I'm not going to stop them this time.
I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
it is a place. It's downtown, or in that area, and it's crazy when you drive and you see it. It's like, what is that?
Yeah,
because you wouldn't think
it
that
would.
is
It
what it
catches
is.
your attention.
Yeah.
It's good branding.
Here are some of the other stories trending right now on clickorlando.com. It's not the big bad wolf, but an alligator has been knocking on doors. This is in Lee County. Luckily, the reptile was removed by a trapper.
And why would you have to appear in person to renew My Florida Tag? ClickOrlando.com breaks down the likely reasons for that inconvenience. I like to avoid those places as much as possible. Well, don't you just hate it when a screen door won't close, right? Or maybe it just flaps in the breeze?
Hate it all around, or creaks, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's no problem for News 6's Eric Von Anken. He's getting results at home with an easy fix for stuck screen doors.
First, though, News 6 wants to help you if you've been denied a health insurance claim. A 4-step process lays out how to fight those denials and avoid high medical bills.
You're watching News 6 at 6:30 live on News 6 Plus, covering Claremont, Grant, Valcaria, and all of Central Florida. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Your Tuesday evening traffic alert. Listen, less weather means more traffic. So make sure you're paying attention. And when I mean traffic, I'm meaning the construction overnight. Southbound 417 will be closed at Lee Vista. No heavy thunderstorms. They're going to be working. So please make sure you're paying attention, and the detour will be set. Same thing here. We will see some delays on I-4 overnight for some closures. Kirkman and the Sand Lake and 528 area, but they're always really good at making sure it's picked up by 6 a.m. I'm Trooper Steve with the News 6 Traffic Alert. Drive safely, and I'll catch you in the morning.
Well, did you recently get a letter from your insurer denying coverage for a test, drug, or other healthcare treatment? It happens more often than you think.
A recent study finds 17% of claims from people insured through the Affordable Care Act were denied in 2018. News 6's Crystal Moyer is breaking down your rights to potentially avoid high medical bills.
If your insurance company denies a test, treatment, or medication your doctor says you need, don't rush to pay out of pocket. I'm News 6 anchor Crystal Moyer, and Consumer Reports says you have a right to appeal that decision, and it may be easier than you think. In 2023, nearly 1 in 5 in-network health insurance claims from plans sold on healthcare.gov were denied, and it was even worse for out-of-network claims, with more than a third turned down. But a denial doesn't mean you should immediately pay out of pocket or worse, skip the care you need. Consumer Reports says it's easier to appeal a denial than you might think. First, call your insurance company. Sometimes a simple billing mistake or paperwork error is all that's standing in your way.
Mistakes can and do happen at multiple points in the claim filing pre-authorization process. They can be relatively easy to fix once you identify them.
If it's not a mistake, you have the right to appeal. Ask to speak directly to the reviewer who made the decision and get a clear explanation for why your claim was denied. You'll need this information for the next step, filing a formal appeal stating that you disagree with the decision.
You're going to ask your doctor to write a letter to explain why the procedure is necessary and to include any documentation to help support that, like your medical records and treatment studies, and any communication with the insurance company.
Doctors are used to this, so don't be afraid to ask. The next step might be the hardest, waiting. It could take 30 days or longer for an answer, and if you need treatment right away, make sure you request an expedited review. And if your claim gets denied, your insurance company is required by law to tell you why and to tell you how to appeal. I posted step-by-step information on clickorlando.com/insider. In the newsroom, Crystal Moyer, News 6.
Let's take a live look over Daytona Beach out in this area here. It is beautiful. The clouds have parted, and get used to that because some different kind of weather is on the way.
Yeah, different by, we mean hot.
That's right.
Really hot.
Yeah, so I guess that's kind of what we're used to.
Yes,
hot, but no afternoon showers to break that up.
And that's the thing going forward. We'll talk about that weather pattern, why that big chunk of high pressure is going to sit on top of us and bake us for the next week to 10 days or so. It's one of these blocking patterns that we were in prior to this anomalous setup, giving us some rain for a little bit. So if it wasn't for that little pattern change, we'd be dealing with the dry weather continuing all of last week. But of course, that was not the case, and we saw that change, and now we're back into what we were just getting out of. Nice clean sweep of the radar right now. A couple of showers we were pinpointing on the coast have left us. We were talking about that throughout the course of the evening. There's 7, 8 o'clock tonight again. We are dry, and we're going to keep it that way, not only for the rest of tonight, but going forward over the week ahead as well. So plans to go to the beach, heading to the theme parks over the next couple of days. We don't have to be dodging showers or thunderstorms anymore. Overnight, as we start Wednesday and Thursday, watch out for a little bit of patchy fog. Otherwise, we're going to be on the drier side. Here's a stat to tell your friends, conversation starter for you. The rainfall department. We, of course, turned on the faucet over the last few days, the last 8 days, really. From May 4th to 12th, we picked up nearly 8 inches of rain at the Orlando International Airport. Now, compare that to the last 204 days, that's since the end of the rainfall from Hurricane Milton, only picked up 7.42 inches of rain. So we had more rain in 8 days than we did in the previous 204. That was good enough. Now the record rain yesterday put us back in the green for the year. In Orlando only, got close to being still kind of close to where we should be for this time of the year in Sanford, about an inch below normal. Daytona Beach, Melbourne, and Leesburg, We still have a lot of work to do. That's going to be reflected on the drought monitor that is released every Thursday. Likely going to see some significant changes with that. Don't think the drought's completely over yet when you look at those numbers from face value. Next 7 days, though, we are not going to add to that at all. Rain chances extremely limited at best. There's another look at Daytona Beach. A few of those puffy clouds out there as we look towards the inland areas. Once the sun goes down tonight, those clouds go with it. We're back to the lower 80s. The breeze out of the south at about 10 miles an hour tonight. And then we're really going to notice that breeze pumping in the warmth really over the next several days. Average lows are in the 60s. That's what we're starting things off tomorrow morning. When you wake up, do watch out for a little bit of patchy fog on your commute into work tomorrow. Otherwise, it should be a nice quiet morning. Now here's a look at tomorrow afternoon.
Your forecast is sponsored by the Florida Lottery.
Temperature is going to get back to the upper 80s. We're under a mainly clear sky, sunshine dominant. That's also right where we should be for this time of the year. And then we blow way past our average temperatures as we move forward. Look at this forecast. 92 degrees on Thursday, 93 on Friday. I mean, this is no doubt the hottest 7-day forecast of the year so far. We're in the mid-90s over the weekend. We are keeping things in the mid-90s well into the early stages of next work week and beyond, guys.
That is toasty. Thank you, Jonathan. Keep streaming. We will be right back.
I'm Crystal Moyer.
And I'm Justin Wormuth. Coming up in the morning, a local elementary school getting a multi-million-dollar makeover.
How it's all part of one district's plan to keep up with growth, all as more and more students move in.
Plus, as always, we have your weather and traffic every 10 minutes. We'll see you for News 6 Mornings starting at 6.
this must be Allison.
Yes.
Who's this?
This is Leo.
Hi, Leo. You gonna help us?
He might.
I don't think so. So it's stuck open?
It's supposed to push and go back.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's much we can do with it other than replace it. So we're gonna do that.
All right, sounds good.
Allison watched the last time we did this. We're gonna try this one. This time we're taking everything off and putting in a brand new one. Step 1, remove. Step 2 is to install the brackets, and it just so happens that this bracket is same exact as the old one, so the screw holes all line up. If not, that's okay. You could probably just push on the screw hard enough as you're going in to get through the aluminum. If not, just drill a small hole. Now take the short pin and connect this end. I'm gonna close the door, and I'll know exactly where to put the screws for this bracket into the door. This is a pressure screw, so the more you tighten it, the slower the door closes. Let's test it. Would you stop?
Hey, Eric, can you give me a hand? Please, I need you to hold the door open for me. No, actually, from the inside. Yeah, that's good. Close it just a little bit. Can you move your hand? You're in the way. Move your hand.
Where do you want me to put it?
Can you just take a step back? Oopsies.
Wait till it's your turn.
What happened?
Well,
Where's that towel?
thank
Looks
you,
like
Allison.
you need it. Did you fix my door?
So yeah, a lot happened, as you saw. Most importantly, we got that done. Watch this.
Well,
Best part of the
thank
day,
you.
right?
All right.
Getting results at home.
That's right. Thank you.
Any excuse for a wet t-shirt.
There you go. Oh, that's trying to get some ratings here. Eric also posted a step-by-step instructions and a list of materials with links so you could try it yourself. And like Eric said, we're looking for our next DIY project. You can send an email, tell us what we can help you with at your home.
He's a real good sport, but
Good dude.
I was thinking that camera can't ever touch water because then it's a different situation.
Oh, yeah.
No question.
They'd be in some trouble then.
Oh, a lot of hot water, not pool water, but hot water.
Look at you.
Hey, thank you for watching News 6 at 6:30. Stream News 6 online anytime on our News 6 Plus Smart TV app.
These kind of puns come every night.
Free.
All right? Remember,
Free.
we break news at clickorlando.com. We'll see you tonight at 11 o'clock. Hot water.
You bring it.
You're so good.